Hello mathematicians, today we're going to talk all about perimeter. I know last week we talked about area and perimeter go hand in hand, but they are different. So let's say we're looking at the area of this shape. Okay, the area of this shape. We learned last week that we can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 times 5 is 30. So the area of this shape is 30 centimeters squared, because we're going to have 1 unit be centimeter, 1 centimeter. Okay? So when we're finding perimeter, it's a little bit different. So the area, let's pretend that this is the blueprints of my house, okay? And we're looking down. And this is my yard. Like my house is over here or something, and this is my yard. The area is the entire yard, and I like to think of the perimeter as the fence around the yard, okay? To find the perimeter, the first really simple way that we find it is we just count it off, okay? You can start on any part of it to start counting. I always start in the top left corner, and I always mark it. Make sure that you mark it so that you don't count 2 units twice, okay? So this is how we're gonna count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So the perimeter is 22 units. Oops, no, not units. We said that the units was centimeters, so it'd be 22 centimeters. Another way that we could find the perimeter is not to count, but since we know that this is 6 units down here, and these are 5 units, we can add all of the sides together. So to find the perimeter, if we know that this is a rectangle, which it is, then we know if this is 6, then this is also 6. If this is 5, this is also 5. So if we know that 2 of the sides are 6 and 2 of the sides are 5, we can do 6 plus 6, which is 12, plus 5, which is 17, plus 5, which is 22. Or we want to look at it in an easier way. 6 plus 6 plus 5 plus 5 equals 22. Okay, so that's how we found the perimeter of this shape. Okay, let's erase that one. And let's go on to this. We'll still have our units be centimeters, okay? So let's go. Okay, so this would be 6 centimeters, and this would be 4 centimeters. Now, how we would find the perimeter of this shape, we would not multiply 6 times 4. That's finding the area. To find the perimeter, you need to find the length of all of the sides. And right, like what I just told you, since this is a rectangle, we know if this is 4 centimeters, then this is also 4 centimeters. Okay? If this is 6 centimeters, this is also 6 centimeters. So to find the perimeter of this one, we would do 4 plus 4, which is 8, plus 6, which is 14, plus 4, which is 18. Okay, so that would be 18 centimeters, right? Or if you want to think of it easier, so you don't get confused, 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4 equals 18. And we're just going to add the centimeters. So the perimeter equals 18 centimeters. Okay. Now, so remember, all you're doing is adding 1 side, 2 side, 3 side, and 4 sides together to find the perimeter of a shape. Now, there are some funky shapes that your homework's going to ask you to solve. So let's practice with that. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so a tricky one could maybe look like this. So let's say your homework or the slideshow or whatever you're doing to try to find the perimeter, this says, okay, this is 10, 8, 4, 5, 5, okay? And then this would be 6. So let's say you have all these numbers. How you would find the perimeter of this is you would do the same thing. You would just add up all of the sides, right? But now it's not a rectangle or a quadrilateral. Now it's a hexagon, okay? So you're going to want to add 8 plus 6, which is 14. So I'm going to check those off so I remember that I added them. Plus 5 is 19. Plus 4 is 23. Plus 5 is 28. Plus 10 is 38. So the perimeter would be 38 centimeters, okay? Scholars, do you notice that I'm not writing centimeters squared? That's because we're only measuring one way. When we're measuring area, we're measuring both ways. So we don't put the squared on this one. We just write it as centimeters, okay? Now, perhaps the trickiest that you're gonna have, I'm going to actually draw this over here so you can see it a little bit better. The homework and or the textbook, something asks you to find the perimeter of a shape like this. Now, there's no way that you can add up the straight sides because this is not a polygon. This is like a bean shape, right? We know it's not a polygon because it doesn't have all straight sides. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to get a little creative at home. I had to find some rope, and then you're gonna need a measuring tool as well. I have my husband's tape measure, okay? So what you're gonna do, and it's not gonna be perfect, but it's okay because we're just looking for the general perimeter of these shapes. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find a rope or a string around your house. If you don't have a rope or a string, don't worry about it. We'll go, if you leave that blank on your work, that's fine. But I would like you to try if you do have the resources. So this is even trickier than in your book because it's bigger, but you're gonna do your very best job to line up the shape with the rope. And like I said, it's not an exact science, okay? That's too small. That's too big. Okay, so that's pretty good, I would say. This is a little bit short, this one's a little bit long. So from like here to here. And then I'm gonna take my tape measure or ruler or whatever you have at home, and you're gonna measure what you found. So this shape I have is about 2 feet. So that's 24 inches, okay? Now, again, not a perfect science at all. If you saw, you're like, oh my gosh, Miss Halverson, you weren't really lining it up. That's okay. We're just practicing with perimeter right now, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed your math video of the day. That is perimeter, and I'm Miss Halverson saying goodbye and happy math.